Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited to film this video because I have been anxiously awaiting this Chanel collection. I knew I was gonna get it the moment I saw it. I realized very quickly that these shades had a shift to them, even from like the first promo shots. Specifically, one of the shades reminds me of that Tom Ford eyeshadow palette, Baby. You guys remember that? I loved that eyeshadow palette, and every time I wore it, I used to get tons and tons of compliments. So when I saw that this palette was gonna have a shade almost identical to that, I was like, yes, we're gonna get that palette. I think it's very different for Chanel. Chanel doesn't really do any kind of eyeshadow shades with any kind of shift. We're gonna start off with a beauty blender and the Chanel Ultra Le Tint foundation. This is my favorite Chanel foundation. Like if I only had to pick one, this would be it. I have combination to oily skin. This does an amazing job at blurring, at covering up any kind of imperfections. It lasts all day, and it does perfect in this humid weather I live in Florida. If you use me for color reference, I am BD31, and my summer shade in this is BD41, in case you guys were wondering. Anywho, I knew I was gonna get this collection the moment I saw the promo photos, and I'm still contemplating whether or not I want to pick up that gray nail polish with the rainbow glitters. Reason being is because I haven't seen a good enough, and I don't have a boutique obviously anywhere near where I live, but I haven't been able to see that nail polish in person, so I'm not really sure how much those glitters are gonna show up. I have a feeling that it's gonna be more of a gun metal color, and you're not gonna really be able to see those rainbow glitters once it dries down on the nail. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? I think we're just gonna get mostly like a silver shimmering effect. Of course, if I see it in person and I can get a better feel for it, then I'll probably pick up that nail polish. I'm also contemplating on picking up the lilac stilo, but honestly it's not something I need. So why, you know, why spend money on something that is not a necessity and is not absolutely unique? That's where I'm at, you know. I'm trying to not overbuy. I'm trying to really hone in on the things that I have and use up what I have, because makeup goes old and eventually you won't be able to use it. Now, that Cocoa Flash lipstick, I'm just gonna tell you right now, it's absolutely stunning. And I own a fairly large amount of Cocoa Flash lipsticks. And by the way, look at this foundation. Is she not a beauty? She is. I've been wearing this for years, this foundation. As somebody who works more than 12-hour days, this foundation stands the test of time, just so we're clear. Anyways, these Cocoa Flash lipsticks that have launched with this collection, this is the bronzer I'm gonna be using from my Film Star Bronze and Glow palette from Charlotte Tilbury. And if you're wondering what color, I use the light medium shade, using a little Charlotte Tilbury brush just to add a little warmth and dimension to my face. Anyways, these Cocoa Flash lipsticks pack such a punch. They are way more pigmented than what we're used to from the Cocoa Flash line, for sure. And I'm almost wondering if this is gonna be like a foreshadowing of them kind of reformulating the Cocoa Flash lipsticks, much like how they have reformulated their original like Cocoa lipsticks. There are a couple of favorite colors that didn't make it into the reformulation, like Adrian and Cecile. Those are definitely some of my favorites. Apparently the reformulation is amazing. I didn't pick up any of those lipsticks because I literally still have all of them in the original formula that I haven't even panned. So it's not that I'm not interested, it's also I need to be a little bit more conscientious of realistically like what I'm gonna be using. You know, this is not gonna be the only drop this year, so I wanna plan accordingly. I brought two blushes here. I brought the Westman Atelier. This was that limited edition color she launched for the holidays, and it's called Bubble, because I didn't know which one would look best with this eyeshadow quad that we're gonna be using. And I also brought Moody Blue from Nude Sticks. This is a much cooler purpley tone, so I brought them both. I'm gonna apply one on each side of the face, and then you guys can let me know which one you think looks better. We're gonna go in with the Westman one on this side. By the way, assuming that they don't catfish us again and this remains the same shade when this is added to the permanent collection, I am really excited to see Bubble join the Westman Atelier blush line as a permanent shade. And I really hope they don't do that annoying thing where they make it exclusive to the Westman Atelier site. Am I the only one who finds that a little irritating? Mostly because I find it a lot more accessible when I can get it at a Nordstrom or a Sephora. You know what I mean? But I feel like it's also irritating for you guys because some of you can't even get like Westman Atelier products shipped to your country where you live, you know? So I'm sure that has to be extremely irritating for you guys. So it does make it more accessible when you can get it at like a Sephora that ships internationally, or another department store, you know what I mean? So that's Bubble on this side, and I think I'm gonna apply just a little bit more for the purposes of this video, just because I want it to be able to show up on camera. But she's a beauty. She really is. It's that perfect mauvey purple shade, because nothing annoys me more than when a shade is labeled as a mauve but there's no purple in it. It's really only pink. So I think that's pretty. Let's go in with Moody Blue on the other side, and I'm just wiping my brush here on a microfiber towel to get all the color off. So I brought both of these because I truly don't know which one's gonna look best with this quad that we're gonna be using from Chanel, because there's pinks, but there's also cooler shades like a gunmetal purpley lilac-y kind of gray that has a shift. There's that iridescent purple pink shade, which I feel like lands right in the middle between a cool tone and a warm tone, depending on how the light is hitting it. So we shall see which one of these blushes is gonna look best with the look. Okay, and I brought my Nude Sticks Half Moon highlighting stick, and I thought this was obviously gonna be the most appropriate for this whole collection. Had we still had the original petal shade from Westman Atelier, I would have used that instead. But this has, I don't know if the camera's gonna pick it up, so I'm just gonna swatch it on the back of my hand. But this has a prominent lilac shift to it, as you guys can see. And I have to say, since I did that video featuring the, like, look at that, look at it, the Nude Sticks products, you guys, I really am very pleased with Nude Sticks. It has a brush on the other side, which we are gonna use to tap this in. I'm very pleased with the products. They are easy to use, they play well with others. I like how inclusive it is, like in the sense of you have the same product, for example, that you can choose for those of you who prefer a dewy blush, for those of you who prefer like a normal natural finish kind of blush, for those of you who prefer a matte blush. They literally have several different finishes of the same product. I mean, that is just beautiful. Okay, let's get into the reason why we're here. I'm gonna apply really quick though, off camera, some eyeshadow primer, and then we can look at this new Chanel collection, shall we? Samples, I received all of the Chance fragrances and this 1932 Chanel fragrance, which I've actually never smelled, so I'm really excited to try that out. A Sublimage La Creme and a Le Lift cream. So samples just, you know, depend on your SA and availability on like what they have. I know there was like a Camelia pendant situation. I guess they ran out by the time I placed my order. But anyways, this is the box, and true to its limited edition nature, it has these like different colors on the box, on the sides. And you can see that the design has that stitching, almost like if they stitched the Camelias on, which rings true to the palette. I did a shorts of this palette already, so you saw it before it was even swatched. So if you want to see what it looked like before I swatched it, go check out my shorts. But here it comes with obviously the velvet package that we all love and we're used to from this luxury brand. Here is the palette in its typical packaging. As a limited edition palette, I really wish that they would have made the actual vessel limited edition, like something different, you know, like maybe instead of the CCs, maybe a Camelia, I don't know, something. Anybody else? They usually come, these palettes usually come with a protector over the shades, and then you get two little sponge applicators, which I'm gonna take out so I can properly maneuver this palette. But this is what it looks like. She is absolutely stunning, and I'm gonna tell you right now, all of these shades have some sort of shift and shimmer to them, and it's hard to tell from just looking at it in the pan. Okay, two of these shades I can tell you right now are topper shades. They have a very different consistency than the other two. So the two topper shades that I find are these two right here, this white iridescent one and this pinky purpley lilac shade right here. They both have the same texture to them, and they have that very iridescent prominent flip, and depending on how you turn your face, it has a clear base, if you guys know what I'm talking about. Let's go ahead and start applying this to the eyes. And this pink shade definitely has a slight shimmering shift, and this gray, it's a gray lilac is the best way I can describe it. This gray lilac has a purpley silver shimmer to it. So I am just beyond impressed with this entire line. I'm gonna be using my Sonia G Sky brushes, and I'm gonna go in with the Jumbo Blender. I'm gonna go into that pink shade right there. I'm gonna go lightly because when I swatched these, this had a lot more color payoff than what I was expecting. I was expecting these to be very light, barely there, but no, they pack quite the punch. So I'm just gonna put this pink shade all over the lid. So here we have that pink shade on the lid. Next, I'm going to go in with the topper shades. I will try a brush first, but I'm also gonna try a finger if that doesn't work out. I'm gonna be using the flat definer, and I'm going to go into the white shade right here, and I want to put that on the inner corner just to see what happens. Yeah, this is definitely a topper shade. So you get a very slight effect with the brush, but I'm gonna go in with my finger because I wanna see. I wanna see what we're gonna do here. Oh yeah, you get a lot more impact with a finger. So with the topper shades, just use your finger. Just stunning. Okay, next I'm gonna go in with the classic crease, and I want to go into that gray shade right here, and let's apply that to the crease, maybe the whole outer V of the eye, we'll see. Just look how beautiful that is. See, it's just a lot darker and a lot more pigmented than what we're used to from Chanel in general. This collection is officially available in March, but some boutiques have already received it. So contact your local boutique and see if they can sell it to you. Just stunning. Next, I'm gonna use a brush again, but I want to try to use the soft shader to pick up this beautiful color right here, and I want to apply that from this part of the eye to the outer. I guess I don't want to say half. I would say it's like more than half. And let's see what happens with a brush. Okay, I zoomed you in a little bit for this. Oh, it actually works really well with a brush. Also super surprised I don't have a lot of kick up or fallout, was another concern of mine. But look how stunning that looks. Now let's try applying it with a finger, just, you know, for the purposes of this video. Okay, when using a finger, you definitely get a lot more impact. Okay, I'm going to use a clean brush, my mini booster, and I'm just going to soften the edges here. But look at how beautiful that is. Let me finish the other eye. Okay, so off camera, I did the boring stuff. I applied some of my Kosas brow gel to my eyes, to my eyebrows. I applied my Merit mascara to my top lashes, and I applied my Chanel eyeliner. This is the Crayon Yux Precision Eye Definer in the color Berry, number 48. This is kind of like a deep purple shade. Here, I'll swatch it for you guys. It's kind of like a very deep, cool toned plum, which I thought would go great with this palette. Now let's get into swatches. So on my finger, I have swatched all 4 shades because I know there's some of you who prefer finger swatches. Is she not stunning? Like, do you guys see the shift in all of these shades? And on my shorts, I also did close-ups of these swatches as well. When I tell you I am beyond impressed with this palette, I really mean it. This is very different for the brand. They don't typically do shades like these that shift and have a duochrome effect, you know? So I think this is kind of like what we've been asking for from the brand, is to step out of their comfort zone and give us something really special, very different, you know, kind of like what we've been used to from them. They used to create really special limited edition makeup before 2020, and then I don't know, it kind of just went a little downhill there for a while, but I'm really happy they're back. Look at these shades. So the pink shade, and I'm not sure if the camera is gonna pick it up, has a silvery glittery effect to it, and it also has just very slight and very minimal, a little gold in there. The white shade is very much a pink, white, gold kind of shift, and then this third shade, which is obviously I think everyone's favorite, has a pink purpley shift to it. But you can see if I turn my hand to the side, you can't see the color. It's almost like you're not wearing anything, and then the moment the light hits it, boom. This this gunmetal shade right here, it has a silver purple shift to it. I thought it was going to be a straight up gray shade, but it's not. So honestly, if you're able to get your hands on this palette, highly recommend. I absolutely love it. And you guys know I will be the first to tell you when something's not good quality, especially from a brand like Chanel. I fell in love with this brand many years ago for this type of quality, for this type of uniqueness. So I'm really excited to see this collection drop, and that they really did listen to us. They stepped out of their comfort zone and they gave us what we've been asking for the past 4 years. Next up, I picked up the Rouge Coco Flash in 272 Rosa. I didn't pick up the other one because I don't look good in prominently very strong gold shades. I don't know, it makes me look very washed out and pale, so I only picked up Rosa. If you guys are unfamiliar with the packaging, this is what it looks like. You have that clear top right there where you can kind of see the color through. And then here's the little box. I know some of you really like to see that. And then when we pop this open, just look at this bullet. Look at it. Look at it. She is sparkly. And because the Flash lipsticks have been around forever, we're all very familiar that this is they're like barely pigmented shades, okay? But this is not that, and I'm wondering if, again, this is gonna be like a foreshadowing of a reformulation, since they're like reformulating their lipsticks. I don't know, but I'm not mad about it. I feel like this would actually be an improvement because they're doing away with the blooms, according to some friends. But just one quick swipe and look at that pigmentation. That's not something you see with the original line of these lipsticks. So again, pleasantly surprised. Look at that color. Now you can wear it alone, or you can wear it with a lip liner, which I'll show you momentarily, but I barely applied any lipstick, and look at the pigmentation. And as I'm applying it from the bullet, it's a little gritty, but it doesn't feel gritty on the lips. And it does have a fruity, floral kind of scent to it, which I'm assuming is gonna go away immediately from my experience with the other lipsticks, but of course I will keep you guys posted. It does have a very faint floral scent, the lipstick. Nothing quite as strong as what we're used to from Chanel. And the eyeshadow quad has no scent, for those of you who are wondering. So here we are in front of one of the mirrors, so you guys can see this look a little better. I mean, look at that. They just blend so well. I mean, I find that both blushes did fairly well with this look. What do you guys think? Either one works. I'm in front of a different mirror where the sun is actually hitting directly so that you guys can see the colors. Also, if you can hear my dog, you'll probably see him walking around in the background. But even look at that highlight. It looks beautiful. Just look at it. I mean, they really did a good job with this palette and this collection. Absolutely beyond words with this drop. Let's go ahead and apply some lip liner, and let's see what it looks like with the Rosa lipstick. Okay, I went through a couple of lip liners. I was looking for something with a slightly mauve brown undertone for this particular lipstick. So I ended up pulling my Charlotte Tilbury lip liner in Pillow Talk 2, and we're just going to slightly line the lips with this, and then let's go in with the Cocoa Flash. By the way, the name of this doesn't make sense. It's Rosa. Should have been named something else. This is definitely a lilac color. You can see how different it looks with a lip liner. And now let's do it where I do kind of like fill in the lips with a lip liner, and then we go over it with that, you know, because we're here. So let's try it. All right, so I basically filled in almost my entire lips with the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk 2 lip liner. Now let's see. Wow, is it me, or does it seem like with the lip liner as a base, this has even more impact on the lips? however you choose to wear this, it's gonna look beautiful no matter what. Again, I think I've said it about 45,000 times in this video. I am beyond ecstatic about this collection. And these shades, not only were they well thought out, but I find them to not only work well together, but they're also easy and beautiful one and done shades. If you want to take this from day to night, you can, by applying this gray shade all over the lid and going over it with either topper shade. I can do a look like that for you guys. If you guys would like, leave me a comment down below and I can do that for you. But you can go as light and as simple as you want, or as sultry and date night as you would like, while still keeping it spring. So I think that they knocked it out of the park with this palette. And as usual, it is hefty because this palette is $70. It is limited edition. It is a luxury beauty brand. That's what we're paying, guys. That's what we're paying, yeah. And you know what? I love it. Obviously, if I didn't think it was worth it, I wouldn't have bought it. So yes, a whopping $70 for 4 shades. I know, let's have a moment of silence for that actually. But yeah, don't even take a breath yet, because the Cocoa Flash lipsticks are 50 bucks. So I know, but you know what? This is the name of the game when it comes to luxury beauty. All right, you guys, leave me any questions, comments down below. I will try to do my best to answer all the questions that you have. And if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, and see you guys next time. Bye.